video I'm going to talk about respiratory quotient, which is also called as RQ or respiratory ratio. What do you mean by this respiratory quotient? Respiratory quotient is nothing but the ratio of volume of carbon dioxide liberated to the volume of oxygen consumed during aerobic respiration or during the respiratory pathway. As you all know, during aerobic respiration, certain amount of oxygen is consumed or used as a raw material and certain amount of carbon dioxide is liberated as an end product, and ratio of that carbon dioxide liberated and to the volume of oxygen consumed is nothing but the respiratory quotient or RQ. The RQ, since it is a ratio, it does not have any unit. And the value of this respiratory quotient depends on the type of substrate that is used during the respiratory pathway. You all know that during respiratory pathway, to produce energy, there are many types of substrate used, like carbohydrate, it may be fat or it may be protein. So many kinds of substrate are used during the respiratory pathway to produce energy. So depends on what type of substrate is used, the RQ value varies. For example, carbohydrate. If you take a carbohydrate as a substrate during the aerobic respiration or during the oxidation of the carbohydrate, the RQ value of the carbohydrate is always 1, because number of oxygen consumed during the reaction and number of carbon dioxide liberated will be same. That's why RQ value of carbohydrate is always 1. If you take example of glucose as an example of carbohydrate, during the oxidation of the glucose, 6 oxygen is consumed and 6 carbon dioxide is liberated. So if you take a ratio of carbon dioxide to oxygen, it is 6 by 6, which is nothing but 1. So RQ value of carbohydrate is always 1. Next one is fat. When you take a fat as a substrate during the aerobic respiration or when the fat get oxidized, the RQ value of the fat is always less than 1. For example, tripalmitin, which is a triglyceraldehyde, during the oxidation of tripalmitin, 145 oxygen is used and 102 carbon dioxide is liberated. So if you take a ratio of carbon dioxide to oxygen, it will be 102 divided by 145, which is 0.7. So 0.7 is less than 1. So RQ value for the fat is less than 1, always less than 1, and approximately it is 0.7. Next one is protein. When you take a protein as a substrate during the aerobic respiration or when the proteins get oxidized, the RQ value of the protein is also less than 1. And most of the cases, the RQ value of the protein is 0.8, which ranges between 0.5 to 0.9, and in most of the protein, it is 0.8. So RQ value of the carbohydrate is 1. RQ value of the fat is less than 1, that is 0.7. RQ value of the protein is also less than 1, that is 0.8. So during the exam or in the exam, the direct questions can be asked like, what is the RQ value of carbohydrate? The answer is 1. Or based on the food products, the questions can be asked like, if you consume lots of rice or potato, what is the RQ value? So rice and potato are rich in carbohydrate and RQ value of carbohydrate is 1. So rice and potatoes are the example of carbohydrate. If the question asks like this, germinating castor and mustard. So if you consume germinating castor and mustard, what is the RQ value? So germinating castor and mustards are rich in fat. So RQ value will be 0.7 or it is less than 1. Next, the questions can be asked like this. That is, if you consume germinating grams, germinating peas, germinating beans, what is the RQ value? So these germinating grams, peas and beans are rich in protein. So RQ value of that will be less than 1, which is approximately 0.8. Next one is organic acid. When the organic acids are used as a substrate or when the organic acids get oxidized, their RQ value will be always greater than 1. For example, malic acid. So during the oxidation of the malic acid, 3 oxygen molecules are consumed or used and 4 carbon dioxides are liberated. So if you take a ratio of carbon dioxide to oxygen, it will be 4 by 3, which is 1.33. So 1.33 is greater than 1. Similarly, for oxalic acid, the RQ value of the oxalic acid is 4. So the RQ value of the organic acid is always greater than 1. It is 1.33 for malic acid and 4 for oxalic acid. Next one is certain special type of plants like succulent plants. For example, Opentia, Bryophyllum, etc. In this case, no carbon dioxide is liberated. So during the aerobic respiration, they consume oxygen, but no carbon dioxide is liberated. So if you consider the oxidation of glucose in this succulent plant, 3 oxygen is consumed during the reaction, but carbon dioxide is not at all liberated. Carbon dioxide are stored in the form of organic acid in this animal. So here the carbon dioxide is stored in the form of malic acid. So 3 oxygen is consumed and no carbon dioxide is liberated. So if you take a ratio of carbon dioxide to oxygen, it will be 0 by 3. So 0 by anything is 0. So RQ value for this special type of plant, that is succulent plant, will be always 0 because there is no liberation of carbon dioxide during the reaction. Next one is anaerobic respiration. As you all know, during anaerobic respiration, no oxygen is used, but there is a liberation of carbon dioxide. So if you take an example of glucose oxidation, no oxygen is used or utilized during the reaction and 2 carbon dioxide is liberated during the reaction. So if you take a ratio of carbon dioxide to oxygen, it will be 2 by 0. So anything by 0 is nothing but infinity. So RQ value during the anaerobic respiration is always infinity. Next is balanced diet, which is very special and important. What do you mean by balanced diet? Balanced diet is nothing but the diet having carbohydrate, protein, fat, everything. Usually we consume this balanced diet. And what is the RQ value of this balanced diet? You know the RQ value of carbohydrate, which is 1. RQ value of fat is 0.7. RQ value of protein is 0.8. So if you take average of all the three, you will get the RQ value of balanced diet. So which is comes around 0.8 to 0.9. So RQ value of the balanced diet is 0.8 to 0.9. So that is about the RQ value or respiratory quotient of different substances or different substrate. So that is all about the respiratory quotient. I hope this video will be useful. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.